All right, let's talk about one of the most famous and maybe misunderstood stories ever told, Jacob's Ladder. Now, if you're picturing some peaceful, beautiful vision of angels, well, that's only half the story. It actually kicks off with a guy running for his life, and get this, ends with him trying to strike a deal with God himself.
So think about this for a second. What really happens when you are pushed to your absolute limit, when you're literally running for your life, and you run smack into the divine? This isn't just some old dusty tale, it's a high stakes drama about a fugitive who hits rock bottom, only to find something that's going to change not just his life, but pretty much everything. You see, our story starts with Jacob in serious trouble. He's not on some spiritual journey. Nope, he's a fugitive. He's just tricked his own father and stolen the family birthright and blessing from his brother, Esau. And Esau, oh, he is furious, like, I'm gonna kill you, furious. So yeah, this whole thing is born from some pretty intense family drama.
And everything we're about to unpack comes straight from one place, Genesis chapter 28. By sticking right to the text, we get to see this incredible narrative play out exactly as it was first recorded. The family dynamic here is messy, and it's really the key to everything. Jacob's escape is officially dressed up as an act of obedience. His dad sends him off to find a wife from their own people. But when his brother Esau sees how happy this makes their parents, he scrambles to do the same thing to get back in their good graces. But he totally misses the point. It's all this rivalry and tension that shoves Jacob out the door and into the wilderness, completely alone. So Jacob is out, he leaves behind the only home he's ever known, and just starts walking into who knows where. This next part of the story is all about painting a picture of just how alone and vulnerable he really is. Just try to put yourself in his shoes for a minute. You've been walking all day. The sun starts to set, there's no town in sight, no inn, not a single person. You are completely, utterly alone in what the text just calls a certain place. You have absolutely nothing. I mean, can you even imagine that level of desperation? He doesn't have a bag to rest his head on. He literally gathers a pile of rocks to use as a pillow. That one simple image, it tells you everything you need to know. He has hit rock bottom. But it's right there, at his lowest point, with his head on a stone, that something absolutely incredible happens. Jacob falls asleep and has a vision, a dream that's going to become one of the most famous in all of human history. And just like that, right there in the middle of nowhere, a connection appears. A bridge from Jacob's gritty, hard reality. The dirt, the rocks, all the way up to the heavens. This isn't just some random dream. This is a full-blown revelation. So let's break this vision down, because there are three key parts. First, you've got the ladder itself, this solid link between earth and heaven. Second, there are angels, and they're not just hanging out. They are busy, moving up and down like there's constant traffic between worlds. And then, at the very top of it all, stands God. This isn't some distant, fuzzy image. This is direct. It's happening right there. And God isn't just standing there silently. He speaks. The amazing vision gives way to a voice. And what that voice says, well, that's the whole point of the story. This fugitive, this man on the run, is about to get a divine promise, a covenant. God lays out four incredible, life-changing promises. First, the ground you're sleeping on, it's going to be yours. Second, you're going to have so many descendants, they'll be like the dust of the earth. Third, through you and your family, the entire world will be blessed. And finally, and for a guy this scared and alone, this might be the biggest one. God says, I am with you, and I will protect you wherever you go. And then he wakes up, and everything is different. The guy who fell asleep terrified, a runaway with a rock for a pillow, wakes up seeing the world in a completely new light. The fear? It's gone. It's been replaced with just awe. His realization is just staggering. He thought he was in the middle of nowhere, some random empty patch of dirt. But he was wrong. He was actually at the center of the universe. He suddenly gets it. This place is special. It's a direct connection to the divine. He calls it the house of God and the gate of heaven. So, what do you do after an experience like that? I mean, really? Jacob doesn't just, stretch and keep walking. He feels like he has to do something to make this moment official. And what he does next is so human, it's fascinating. It's not just a thank you prayer. It's a bargain. First things first, he marks the spot. He takes that same stone he used for a pillow, stands it up like a pillar, and anoints it with oil to make it sacred. Then he gives the place a new name,
that perfectly captures what happened: Bethel, which literally means house of God.
Then Jacob makes his vow. And listen to how he structures this, because it's a classic if-then statement. He basically says, if God, you keep your promises. If you stay with me, protect me, make sure I have food and clothes, then I'll do my part. Then the Lord will be my God. Then this stone will mark your house, and then I will give you back 1/10 of everything I get.
You see, this isn't just a prayer, it's a contract. He's taking a divine promise and turning it into a personal deal. It's such a human way to react to something so supernatural. He's laying out the terms. This is the moment the fugitive stops just running and becomes an active partner in his own destiny. And that leaves us with a really interesting question to chew on. Was Jacob's vow a pure act of powerful newfound faith? Or was it the move of a master negotiator, a guy who, even when face-to-face with God, couldn't resist making a deal? The text tells us what happened, but what it all means? Well, that's for us to figure out.